There's something we need to understand. Breakup, it hits a lot of men differently. Not because men don't feel the pain, but because men are not taught to process the pain rightly. If you do not deal with heartbreak in the right way, you may leave the relationship, but the relationship will not leave you. Others emotionally shut down, and they call it strength. Unresolved heartbreak doesn't disappear. It just changes form. It just becomes anger. It becomes detachment from reality. It becomes silence. The next woman will be the one that will be bearing the wounds of such a mistake. Breakups happen, but it's not the end of life. Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Pastor Albert, and as always, I am delighted to have you for another video. If you are a returning subscriber, I just want to express my appreciation for your support. If you are new here, don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button and enjoy being part of this family. In this community, I do videos about family life, Christian living, relationships, singles, marriage, and I hope it becomes a blessing for you. Stick and stay with me. Let's get into this video. There's something we need to understand, that breakup, it hits a lot of men differently. Not because men don't feel the pain, but because men are not taught to process the pain rightly. So the question is, what happens? A lot of guys don't heal. They just distract themselves. They just act unbothered. They just pretend that there's nothing that is happening, override it by engaging in routine. And some even jump into the next relationship in order to avoid grieving over the pain of a breakup. Others emotionally shut down, and they call it strength. But the truth of the matter is that unresolved heartbreak doesn't disappear. It just changes form. It just becomes anger. It becomes detachment from reality. It becomes silence. So if you do not deal with heartbreak in the right way, you may leave the relationship, but the relationship will not leave you. In this video, I'm going to honestly talk about breakup, especially for men, and how men can heal from it. One of the biggest misconceptions when it comes to relationship matters is that women hurt more after a breakup and then men recover really fast. But that is always not the case. The part that men poorly process the result of a breakup is the matter of discussion. So why is this so? A lot of men are not emotionally expressive when it comes to hurt and pain because they have to man up. They have to stand up and then override all the emotions. And that is a natural training that most men have. Instead of grieving or instead of going through the process of emotional hurt, most men tend to switch into a performance mode. They look for the next task, the next routine, hit the gym, do something active to move the mind out of that state of emotion. Others even jump into a relationship quickly just to override that pain and hurt of a breakup. And none of these things are bad in itself. But if you are jumping into the next routine in order to avoid being hurt, it would come back to you in the long run because it wouldn't help you process it because you are using it to suppress that emotion. And later there is a crackdown, a meltdown of emotions, and it will hurt you as a man. But we need to understand that a breakup is not just about losing a person. A breakup means that you lose a certain routine you are used to. It loses certain emotion and connection as well as affection with another person. The imagined future is destroyed. The companionship that you have enjoyed, the version of life you thought you could be having together is also destroyed. And these are real matters of emotion, real matters of invested emotion into a person. And for many men, this can feel a lot more disorienting because when men love something, they are deeply attached to it. They invest their all into it. So after a breakup for a man, it's not just about loneliness. It's about rejection. It's about feeling confused. It's about feeling replaceable. It's about him thinking that he is not enough. And these are real things for the man. And let's be honest here, one of the hardest parts about a breakup for a man is not just about the separation itself. It's about the ego. It's about the confidence. It's about how he feels when he comes around his peers. It is also about identity. So all these things are significant aspects of the male's mental framework, that when a breakup happens, it becomes a big issue. The mistake that most guys do after a breakup is, first, they act numb. They act like nothing ever happened. They shun and suppress their emotions. Others jump into the next relationship too quickly without processing the hurt, the pain, and overcoming it. Others, on the other hand, keep romanticizing the past. They keep looking at the past, keeping looking at what they have missed, and then dwelling so much in the past that they tend not to move on. Others take it personally, believing that breakup means they are invaluable, they are unworthy, they are a failure. An additional mistake is that some men after breakup even refuse to grieve. They refuse to ponder over the issue of what underlying factors that caused the breakup. And what do? They try to man up instead of dealing with the issue, instead of assessing the breakup itself, instead of feeling the emotions. They shun the emotions aside. They tend to enter the next relationship with trust issues, with vulnerability, emotional distance, insecurity, anger, and untoward behavior. And in the long run, they even destroy themselves. But the real question now is, how can men actually heal from breakups? The truth of the matter is, as we are all in the space of dating and relationships, we would eventually have a breakup one way or the other. It is not something we can avoid, because sometimes our paths will cross and we might think that we have found the best thing that is ever happening to us. But in the long run, we might have differences. Our perspectives might shift. Our goals, our values might be in conflict, and that can result in a breakup. The first thing is that you need to accept the loss. You need to accept the fact that you have lost someone. The fact that you are hurt doesn't mean you are weak. The fact that you are in a breakup or you've lost a woman doesn't mean all your life has come crashing down. Healing is not weakness. Grieving is not weakness. Missing someone is not weakness. It just shows that you are human. The second thing is being honest about what has hurt you. You see, most of the time when we are going through a breakup, all we are looking at is, I miss her. I miss our union. I miss our companionship. I miss being with that person. But the true thing is that what actually brought you to this place? What exactly are you grieving about? Are you grieving about the person? Are you grieving about what you shared in common? The future plans you had? You have to look for that particular thing that makes you feel the emotional hurt the more. Because if you do not identify that thing, you would beat about the bush and then shun your emotions and shove it aside. But you need to identify what actually you are grieving about. The third thing is that stop checking in on the person. Because the more you constantly check on the person, the more you constantly go back to revisiting your pictures, your memories together, you're bound to hurt yourself the more. So once you are at this stage, you need to put yourself on a break. Because the more you check on their stories, their feed, what they are saying, their chats and all that, you tend to be feeding the pain. You tend to be feeding the emotional hurt. The fourth thing is to return to yourself. Come back, reflect, try to rebuild yourself, try to rebuild your personality. There's a particular thing about you that you need to look into and to rebuild about yourself. Rebuild your discipline, rebuild your peace, your confidence, your spiritual life. These are critical things you have to look at. And finally, let the breakup teach you something. Let the breakup teach you something about yourself. The blind spots, the things you ignored about the relationship, the things that you did wrong. Look into your relationship, look into yourself, and let this breakup moment help you identify things that you could have done better. Because we are all not perfect. We are all not perfect beings. We are bound to make errors. So this, according to me, is always a chance for you to reflect and see what you can get out of your relationship, what you missed, what you ignored, what you overdid, what you underrated. I mean, a whole lot of things can be done. And I bet you, if you learn well, the heartbreak wouldn't break you down. It will help you rebuild yourself, build your self-esteem, and become a better person in the long run. So finally, I will say that the real goal after a breakup is not just to move on, because a lot of people move on physically, but still emotionally they are stuck. So the real goal is to move on in such a way that the pain doesn't harden you. The pain makes you a better person. The pain makes you a better version of yourself. The pain helps you to rediscover who you are, rediscover what you represent, your potential, your positives, and the biggest side of it is, or the real difference is, that you would move away from negativity and emotional hurt. Look in within yourself, the thing that you can improve. This is the opportunity for you to improve, to become better, to become a better person for the next relationship, not just to carry on rapidly into another relationship. And I feel that that is the purpose of a breakup. Breakups happen, but it's not the end of life. If this video spoke to you, please do well to subscribe for more videos like this, and also share in the comment section what are the hardest parts of a breakup for a man. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. God bless you for joining me on this episode. See you in the next video. Bye bye for now.